Hey, hey, kids.
So we're not dead. Jordan just has a job that literally has him on a ball and chain.
Dude, I am pulling 50-hour plus weeks right now.
It's my point exactly. So sorry for the excessive amount of waiting it took for the next episode to, show up. But we're here now, and we're doing some more Pokemon. And we're
Yeah.
going through a small bit of channel restructuring as well. Like Jordan and I were discussing earlier about the demo show that we came up with a while back, like the show where we essentially play different video game demos and give our opinions of them. Uh, so expect probably sometime either this weekend or just next week in general, where you may see the first foray or the grand opus, I guess, of that show.
Yeah, we're trying to come up with new content, but also, we got to keep things moving, which is hard right now.
Yeah, it kind of is. And Jordan is the one with the emulator, and he's the one that's got the blind Yakuza playthrough going by. Which, by the by, for Yakuza 0, we're thinking about ditching streaming that game on Saturdays because Jordan has no Saturdays off. So what we're thinking of doing is making it a pre-recorded show that I will post on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So that's generally what's been going on. So, but for now, we got at least some Pokemon stuff planned. And funny enough, with the contemporaneous examples, I don't remember if I asked you about this, Jordan. Thoughts on the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes?
Honestly, I love that the first Pokemon game I ever played is going to be remade, but also I'm not super pissed about the art direction. The only thing I think they really need to do, because they were doing it in the last few games, and it just looks really out of place with this art style not to do it, is to add a black outline to the 3D models. Because otherwise, they really just look sponge cakey. That's the best term I can give it.
They kind of look like slightly better Funko Pops moving around in the open world.
Yeah, especially also, like, the thing for me is when you saw, like, the battle scenes and they return to, like, normal proportions during, like, the battle animations because they're not chibi.
Yeah.
Because their portraits are, proper scale.
Yes.
Like, it looks like their hair is plastic and just, like, molded to their face. So I really feel like they just need to work on the shaders and also possibly add an outline. Like, this is a game without an outline, but you can see that even for GameCube graphics, like the little puffs on Hope, that they tried to shade with different types of gray, or that there's a light source on Brick, so he's actually brighter from the bottom than from the top. Just to give it some definition, because they had to hide the actual polygons, which you can see as this camera's rotating sometimes.
Right, and probably the other thing is that the reason why that the graphical difference is so massive is likely due to the fact that it's being developed by a completely different team, not Game Freak.
Really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they said that in the Pokemon Direct. That let me check actually, because I know for certain they said, "Oh, this is being done by a different team." I just don't remember exactly what team it was.
Okay.
But then shortly after, the Pokemon Legends Arceus thing came up, and your thoughts on that?
Haven't actually heard much about it or actually seen anything about it. That's the first I heard that they're making a new Legends game.
New Legends game.
Or, what do you mean Legends Arceus?
It's literally like a new game that they're calling Legends Arceus. It's like the first. It's like a new Pokemon spin-off where it's just big old open world and Pokemon are just roam. It's essentially like Wild Area from Sword and Shield, but made into a game, from the looks of it. And it takes place in Sinnoh, but like in super distant past.
Well, this is the first I'm hearing of it, but it sounds like a cool concept.
The developer is...
Like, guys, I run a gaming channel, and this should tell you how just swamped I have been in real life right now, that I don't even know about a new Pokemon game coming out, and I'm doing a Pokemon Let's Play.
Jordan, you shouldn't feel bad. Like, I haven't exactly been active on the channel either.
Ooh. Okay, I just noticed a little effect with this red light source wherever it is on the roof, but it actually moves around as we're moving, so that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, they actually made like moving reflections on the floor. Thank you, old Game Freak.
Okay, so it's Ilka Inc., the studio that made Pokemon Home,
Oh,
which is
okay.
like that, which is like that
The new
that
Pokemon
transferring,
transfer thing, yeah.
yeah, the transfer thing. So that's interesting. But yeah, I think Game Freak are putting their eggs in the basket of Legends Arceus, which, as mentioned, it just kind of looks like big old open world where you, as you know, the trainer, just traverses the world, finds Pokemon in the wild. We don't know any details about it, and it looks like a very rough thing, but that's probably because it's so early in development at the moment. But yeah, I think this kind of risk is exactly what Game Freak ought to at least try, because Lord knows, Sword and Shield was not exactly a risky game.
No, and I mean, that was to its detriment. And from what you're telling me, I'm kind of thinking Pokemon Call of the Wild.
Kind of. Kind of. But moreover, I thought of, speaking of Sword and Shield, actually, I remembered seeing this video by a YouTuber named Salt Factory. Do you know about him?
I've heard of Soul Factory, and I don't know much about them.
Okay, well, he's primarily, not primarily, but very nicely known for him calling Skyrim an incredibly shallow experience, and
Well,
a lot
that's a
of his
hot
Elder,
take.
and a lot of his Elder Scrolls stuff in general, as well as Fallout. But he did a video on Pokemon Sword and Shield, and let's just say that he echoed a lot of the same sentiments that I felt about the game.
Yeah.
That concepts and ideas in the game were really cool sounding, but the execution was just a wet fart.
To me, I just think that for Pokemon, it's losing its identity. Like, they feel that every new game has to have a large new roster, has to be in a new area, and has to do new things every time. But the core is the battle mechanic, and it used to be trading. Now that trading's all online and we're not meeting in person to trade our Pokemon, they started like in X and Y adding new things to the battle system. But now every release after that has done something new to the battle system. So we aren't getting Mega Evolutions. We're getting, like Gigamax mode now. Or.
God, I hate Gigantamax.
Yeah, or.
I actually don't like it.
Yeah.
And that sentiment, as I said, echoed in the video where he states like, oh, like this mechanic, if you're playing with friends, can be okay, as a means of gaining experience and capturing some Pokemon that may be stronger. But with NPCs, it's absolute garbage. And he says, he has this little gag that he does where he says, if I were a cynical person, I'd say that they made the AI for these Gigantamax raids awful on purpose so that they can incentivize people to get Nintendo Online. And he just repeats that over and over to the point where the text starts to show up on screen, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel the same way, and I'd probably say that is the reason.
No, it could be. But for me, it's like, Pokemon, yes, has always been a social game, but the single-player campaign has always tried to at least be a somewhat involved story with, like, a decent catch, where, even if it's not the longest RPG, you're having a fun romp in a fun world, building your team, and you kind of get a connection with your team.
And for the most part, they did kind of get that with the story, and this is me speaking with my experience of it. And for the most part, some of the characters were kind of neat, albeit a lot of people were just more attracted to the ideas in their character design and maybe some stuff that they just noticed on the outset, like Leon, the champion of the region, being a massive himbo, the dragon guy being like a big old social media Instagram vlogger of some kind. I don't know what Pokemon's equivalent of that would be. Then there's like Hop, who I don't think anybody likes. I think no one likes him because literally no rivals have been very likable at all in the game so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's all of the female character designs, which if you browse the internet in any capacity,
Yeah.
you'll get what I'm saying.
But
People.
that's every Pokemon game. I don't know. Overall, I just think like Pokemon is in a weird place right now with its identity. I think that's the main problem everyone's having because they want to keep growing the fan base by still being attractive to children, but also they have the older fan base that grew up with the games like us that obviously want more and are encouraging them to try and keep the whole national decks available, which, let's face it, they could have done in Sword and Shield.
I
Like,
just think that they've gotten a bit complacent in their position. They've just gotten really complacent with how large they are as a franchise and how, they literally they can keep themselves out of any level of hot water of development with any release of a Pokemon game, because guess what? It's Pokemon. People will buy it.
And that's part of the issue I think is really causing this identity crisis. I have no other way to really say it. They're so complacent, they're just relying on what they knew worked and what they think everyone wants.
Yeah, which is why this Legend Arceus game is such an intriguing idea to me, because it's like, oh shit, this looks like it might actually, I don't know, do something different here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, a Shadow Murkrow.
Well, let's hope Suicune doesn't kill it.
Well, it's not going to be that much of a loss for you because it doesn't evolve in this generation.
That's true, but I would still want it. Well, I think that's the option.
But the one thing that I would say got me to like Legends Arceus a little more, just to, maybe be like, oh yeah, I might try this out. You can get Cyndaquil as a starter.
Ooh, nice.
Like so apparently the thing in the game is like, oh, here are these regions that came from, here are these Pokemon that came from regions outside of Sinnoh, and here's all this stuff, and it just made me realize, oh, that's kind of neat. You get Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and was it Oshawott? I know Cyndaquil's one of them because I'm a person that just hyperfixates on anybody that references Typhlosion.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arceus starters. It is Rowlet, Oshawott, and Cyndaquil. And the thing is that it makes me even more weird. It makes me more weirded out by the fact that Charmander's not a starter you can choose. Now, you can probably catch one in Legends Arceus, but I looked at that and I was like, wait, really? They aren't going to have Charmander be shoehorned in as a starter?
I'm kind of glad. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Charmander.
Like, I like Charmander and Charizard and all that line, but let's face it, it gets kind of the big treatment compared to a lot of other Pokemon that probably deserve it just as much.
Yeah.
Like, it's as far as I know, I think it's like one of the few. Actually, no, it's like the only starter outside of the main trio from Sword and Shield that you can even get, and you get it at the very. Wait, do you get it at the end of the game? Yeah, you do. So, I don't know. It's just a clear sense of favoritism, I guess. Oh boy. Hey, I mean, too bad you don't have a Snorlax that uses Fly.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, if I were to say which version of the game I'm going to get, of the Diamond and Pearl remakes I'm getting, I'd get Diamond. And my speculation on the release date will likely be on November, because that's usually when Pokemon games come out.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's our Sword and Shield rant, one of many that we've probably had on this Let's Play channel, but due to the multiple hiatuses that we've had, to the point where Yoshihiro Togashi would probably look at us and say, good work there. Good work on them hiatuses.
Yeah.
Or
We have had as much development hell as Duke Nukem Forever in the early 2000s.
Or would Cyberpunk count as... No.
It had delays, but it wasn't in developer hell.
Yeah, that's... Oh, you almost had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, definitely Duke Nukem.
Yeah, like that one, even though, like, it... Oh, crap. Oh, well. I'm surprised a level 38 took out level 43. At half health. But... Yeah, no, that game's just going to be infamous for its development hell cycle beyond just the game itself. Because the Doctor Who Cloned Me DLC was actually pretty dang good. Like, that game had so much potential, but it was really weighed down by its hell cycle and just all those ideas being used way too late.
At least the guy who pre-ordered it back when the game was first announced got a cool care package.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, like, some companies have kind of got the PR ideas down. Like, say what you will about the development hell of Cyberpunk and the really short-sighted dumbness of its upper management. CDPR have some goddamn good PR.
Yeah, and I mean, here's my thing. Cyberpunk overall, like, I feel with the patches, they're really trying to fix what went wrong at launch.
Yeah,
But
the
issue is that, you know, on top of just development delay, it's because they were making it for, like, every possible console.
Yeah, if you want a more nuanced dissection, I guess, of what went wrong with Cyberpunk, Matt McMuscles did a video. He has this video series called What Happened.
Yeah, I love those.
You love What Happened?
I love What Happened.
Yeah, he discussed Cyberpunk and What Happened. And, yeah, he pretty much illustrates the exact points that you were making about how they were developing it for every console under the sun.
Yeah.
Is it the Puke Guitar? No, it's the Fortress.
Ooh.
Fortress is Bug
Water, isn't it?
Steel. No, Bug Steel.
It's Bug?
Yeah, it's Bug, because it evolves from Pinecone.
Oh, man, I forgot. I thought it was some kind of, like, octopus thing, like Octillery.
I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, or maybe even if it was some kind of shellfish, but no, it's Bug Steel.
Well, I don't have fire types out right now, so... Earthquake it is. Because ain't gonna hurt. He's steel. He's steel.
Steel is weak against ground.
What?
Steel is weak against ground.
Ah, okay. I think weak against water, so it's neutral to him.
I suggest yawning the Fortress.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually.
You won't end up with another Murkrow that way.
Yeah.
See, this is why it's good to have me around here on this LP.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was talking about CDPR's PR, funny enough, because I watched a video where this guy was making a cocktail based on one of the characters. He's like the companion character you have throughout the game named Jackie, and they decide to, and he was like, hey, what does it take to get a drink in this bar called the Afterlife, which is like a cyberpunk tabletop staple. And Jackie essentially describes, the character Jackie essentially describes in-game his drink as a Moscow Mule. It's literally just a Moscow Mule with a, quote, splash of love. And he's just like, it's on how to drink, and he's just going like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll just try a Moscow Mule with maybe a bit of Irish mist.
Oh, okay. I forgot, Razor Leaf targets everything.
Yep. But yeah, the video had a fascinating fact that proved to me that CDPR are good at what they do in terms of being good to the being at least really cool to their influencers and such.
Yeah.
Where on a previous Cyberpunk episode, when he made the Johnny Silverhand drink, which is apparently a tequila old-fashioned with some cerveza and a garnish of chili powder.
That sounds good. Also, now I'm thinking maybe I should paint an actual Cyberpunk model for the channel. It's gaming related.
Yeah, that could be kind of cool.
We'll do a little tutorial and like
you know what you
paint
could
the Cyberpunk character.
You know what you could do?
What?
You could try and like 3D print like one of the famous smart guns in the game or something, like an iconic weapon or something. So there's an idea for you. But as I was saying, he talked about how he made the Johnny Silverhand, and CDPR, in probably one of the most cool moves I've seen a developer make, they changed the in-game liquid model to match the coloration that his Johnny Silverhand was in his video.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Like, again, glitches and everything, like, those are problematic. The problems with the developers and their higher ups, yeah, those are all pretty bad. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Like, them actually going like, hey, this guy made his own Johnny Silverhand. How about we reflect his to what it looks like in the game? Boom, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
How many developers do you know that do that?
Not many.
Not many. Alright, so since it's bug and steel, Surf should be good against it.
Yeah, he wouldn't fall asleep, so I was just like, I'm doing chip health.
Yeah, that looks like a good amount.
Because all he can do is recoil right now.
What moves does Lucky have?
Let's see.
Go ahead and do a slam or something against Swablu. Sunny Day, Synthesis, Body Slam. Okay, so no status ailment moves.
Yeah.
Try using a Pokeball or something now. See where that gets you.
Actually, yeah, that's how I'll do. I'll do Pokeball with Brick.
And do a Razor Leaf with Lucky.
Yeah.
Chip damage.
Just use a timer. Because this has been going on a few turns, so it might be effective.
Let's hope so.
Then, yeah, Razor Leaf, because they're not going to get too crazy.
Yeah. And again, still trying that tried and true playground method of...
Hey, it may not work, but it just makes me feel good. And sometimes a placebo is what you need. You know?
That sugar water tasting with that dash of failure, Jordan.
Still sweet. Because it was so close.
I know. Like, that's the worst of it, whenever you just manage to have something and it's just like, oh, come on, just one more shake, or just the gotcha, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. I'd say best take that Swallow out ASAP. Oh, you don't have Ampharos on. Yeah, send Umbreon out.
He's tanky and he had Bite.
Yeah. But yeah, I could certainly say that that CD Projekt Red certainly have a better have a better sense of knowing what their influencers and their gamers want compared to, say, Atlas or maybe some others, cough Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember going on a bit of a rant once when I was talking to somebody saying, like, Nintendo's whole policy about fan creations and influencers and people streaming their games, it's very much like a really out of touch conservative uncle that shows up at your family dinners.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, they really have some really dumb views that you would have a massive argument with them over, but you don't want to say anything because they're the ones that give you really big Christmas gift card money.
Yeah.
That's essentially the best way to put it, is that, you know, as great as they are with their gifts to their audience, man, do they have, like, they have this sense of passive-aggressive disdain, I guess.
Yeah.
With fan projects and such.
And, I mean, I kind of get it on some of them because of timing, but also, yeah, it's out there. That's one thing I'm going to give Sega. Sega does what Nintendo don't, and they encourage the fan community.
Yes. And then, hell, they'll even encourage modding in a lot of segments, and Lord knows Nintendo would be against that too. And, like, again, I love Nintendo stuff. A lot of their stuff's really good, while its Fortress is kicking your ass.
Yeah. Well, I really don't have anything to really kick its ass, and since I'm trying to capture it, I'm not trying to kick its ass.
I know. And I'm just saying, like, this thing's giving you a runaround.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, the one complaint I will give to this game. It's like, if you want to capture all these shadow Pokemon, prepare to just kind of sit and take it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as I was saying, like, a lot of fan projects that people are familiar with will just end up getting the chopping block. Actually, no, the chopping block, the DMCA chopping block. Like,
yeah,
for the sake of IP protection, but man, if just only they would be more accepting of this practice and possibly, you know, take in some of these people that are making these fan games or fan creations, like,
especially if they get big with the community.
Like, oh, I don't know, another Metroid 2 remake.
Yeah, or like the guys who made Fast RMX.
Or the people that are making that Fire Emblem Three Houses Game Boy Advance remake.
Mm-hmm.
Because that shit looks fucking clean.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon Uranium got the chopping block, and just too many to count.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a problem with Nintendo, and I grew up a Sega fanboy, so even now I don't have as big a connection to Nintendo IPs, but yeah, it's one of the things that actually kind of keeps me away from being like a Nintendo fan.
Yeah, that's kind of why I also see a lot of these other developers posting things to their other platforms, and I'm like, yeah. And not to mention that it's not even just about the games, their hardware stuff's even behind the times as well. As well as software. Like, have you heard about how behind their like servers for their Wi-Fi connectivity thing are?
Pretty behind. I mean, they don't even understand how Slippy works.
Yeah, it's laughable. What are you doing here?
Trying to find the place I heal my Pokemon. Because I know there's a place nearby I can go just to heal them. There we go.
You took a big old run around there, pal.
Yep.
Trying to get your steps in.
Gotta do cardio.
I gotta get my steps in on my Walker, man. Totally catch these Pokemon. God, I want a Pokewalker again so badly. How cool would it be if Legends Arceus actually had a Pokewalker accessory too?
I mean, I think since the Switch has a gyroscope, it could actually act as a type of speedometer. So you could probably just walk around with a Switch and it'd be able to know.
I don't think that would work as well as the Pokewalker, but okay.
Like, it would be roundabout. It would only work while the Switch is on. You wouldn't be able to ever turn the console off, so it'd be horrible for people who play on the go.
I'm
but
this also for somebody who, say, I don't know, jogs in their neighborhood block. You don't want to jog while you're holding your Switch.
I mean, I would, but no, like, I'm thinking too, since Switch is so big on us using our phone to communicate, why not just, like, find a way to tie it to your phone's fitness app so that your phone acts as the Pokewalker.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know, it seems to be something Nintendo be going for.
And actually, speaking of Switch hardware,
the Super Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, the big old apparent upgraded version of it that may be announced or not announced, I don't know. I'm not putting too much stock into that until we hear it from the horse's mouth themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, right now with all consoles, they're hard to get due to the capacitor shortage.
Oh,
And
God,
let's face it, I'm looking for a GPU right now, and I'm not paying someone $2,000 for what is essentially an $800 card.
Same thing with me for a PS5. Oh man, did I ever tell you how fucking close I got to getting one?
Oh, I know. I know.
Okay, so you know, but I'll tell y'all watching just so that you know how infuriating it is to even get your hands on one of these fucking things. So, PS5s, about as hard to get on, actually no, harder to get your hands on than the COVID vaccine, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And I was essentially headhunting this console for a few weeks now. I've given up, but let me tell you why. Essentially what happened was I kept my eye on Amazon and Walmart and all the other websites for restocks, and there was a restock, I think it was last Tuesday. I think it was was it last week? It was around that time, like mid-March, and Walmart had a big restock that happened, and Amazon apparently was also going to have one, but for some reason, I guess due to the information of it being leaked, they were like, no, we're not going to put them out yet. So everybody flocked to Walmart, myself included. Mm-hmm. And it was an online-only deal because, you know, if they were in stores, you wouldn't be able to keep them in stores at all. So I was just like, all right, let's see if we can get one online. Congrats on the Aridos. So I was like, all right, I need to get one online. And I had one in the cart. I managed to get one. And I managed to proceed to checkout, which made it even better. And ships directly to the residence, which means, oh, I can get my PS5 in the mail. I can finally do this. I can start streaming my PS4 games again without having to hear the fucking jet engine of a console going off. Because it's not just that the PS4's fans are awful. I've had this PS4 since 2014, so I think I'm due for an upgrade.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yes, I can finally get it. This might happen. It can finally happen. Proceed to check out. And it went out of stock.
That was literally me with a GPU today.
It went out of stock just as I was about to proceed through checkout. I don't know what it feels like to, I don't know the feeling of having to ascend stairs and then have your ankle roll on the last step and you just stumble and get bruised and battered. But that's the closest I think I'll ever feel of getting it, and I don't want that happening again to me.
Yeah.
That was not a fun feeling. The immediate,
sure it wasn't.
The pit I felt in my stomach afterwards was just, such bullshit. So, yeah, I give up. I'm not trying to headhunt a PS5 anymore. I'm just leaving it up to the winds of fate.
Only reason I'm still trying to headhunt GPUs is because, I used to be able to see one or two kind of mid-range cards in stores. They weren't completely picked over every time I stopped in. It was just you wouldn't find the top-of-the-line card. No big deal. But now, even in stores, the MSRP is about to go up because of demand. And also, every shop I've walked into that carries GPUs is just picked over. There's no cards left in stock in person anymore. I can't even get, I don't know, now we're on the 30 series. If I wanted to get kind of lower end, I couldn't get a 3060 or a 3050. That would be a lot more powerful than the 680 I'm running right now, and it'd be newer and wouldn't start having bug issues like mine is.
Yeah, and on top of that, it'd let you be able to stream more or be able to record and play more high-profile games, I don't know,
Resident
The Witcher.
Evil. Or The Witcher, yeah.
I guess that little bit of foreshadowing. The Witcher's currently on sale on Steam. At the time of recording this, The Witcher's on sale on Steam for $10. the third one, I mean, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of shoving Jordan in that direction, being like,
I still need to beat the first and second game, but yeah, I know like Witcher 3 is a big deal for a lot of people.
It is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
And I would play The Witcher 1 and 2, but I've heard how janky they are, and not in like an, oh, they're old kind of way.
Well, I've shown you Witcher 1.
Well, yes, and visually it's janky, but bro, you need to watch Joseph Anderson's videos on Witcher 1 and 2. Granted, they're like 4 and 5 hours long respectively, but he breaks down the game and how they both succeed and fail in different aspects.
Well, my thing is this.
There are some
Witcher 1 plays very similarly to Knights of the Old Republic. Like,
which I haven't played because I'm not a Star Wars fan.
And I say you should play it. It's an amazing game. But oh, I just killed Suicune.
Bruh.
Lol.
What happened to switching out to Altaria?
I forgot. I was just like, oh, electrodes. I'm going to Earthquake.
Bruh.
But, yeah, so that happened. But no, like, I don't mind the gameplay of The Witcher 1 that much. It really isn't that janky for me, because I've played older RPGs.
There's just a shit ton of bugs that happens.
Oh, yeah, no, I had a guy's beard clipping through his face, like, every time I tried to talk to him. It was crazy. Not to mention, enemies, like, random not getting your hitbox, but it's an older RPG, and, like, from that era, I say it's still pretty good.
I don't know, man. I just say watch Joseph Anderson's videos to get the full deal on the story.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just that kind of guy. I want to play it,
I know. I get that. I totally get it. It's kind of like me with my reluctance on wanting to play Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Until you play all the other Yakuza.
Until I play all the other Yakuzas, which is a possibility because they're all available on PC and almost every platform under the sun. It's a lot of games to go through.
It is, but, like, to me, there's so much fun just playing Zero that I'm like, hell yeah, it's worth it.
It is. And, the first two games are fully remade, so it's not like we're going to have to deal with PS2 models.
Which, me, I would happily just run the emulator and play it with the PS2 models, but yeah.
We want to see prettier Kiryu.
Yeah, probably.
And prettier Majima.
Yeah. Granbull's just poison, isn't he?
No, he's normal.
Earthquake gonna hurt that?
From Brick, I'd say yes. I'd say yawn it. Yeah, yawn it, and
Don't Dragon Breath it, because Dragon will kill normal, right?
Dragon is neutral again. Normal doesn't have any weaknesses except fighting, so Dragon Breath via Breath the Vigoroth. I've always liked the Slack Off line.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have any fighting types in the team at the moment, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, Granbull was
I like
normal.
that scary face animation, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, Granbull is normal up until Gen 6, where it and Snubble became Fairy, yes. Oh, so, Jordan, in regards to what I asked you about before with the Nuzray stuff, would you want for me to write out the full thing in like a
yeah, I would
thing?
I would do it. Why not?
Yeah, just send that no context over to the Nuzray cast, and they'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And you'll just say, "Art. We made art."
It's like we haven't posted the second episode in like 2 years.
Yeah, we haven't posted, or the
next episode, yeah.
Yeah, and granted, she has been busy.
Oh, I know, but like she's been doing so many other like little things and stuff that she's almost kind of given up on animating the comic.
Yeah.
So
And
to me, it's like,
why not just do a shit post then? You know? Why
yeah.
not?
So to me, it's like shit post because it's been a long time since you heard from any of us voice actors.
Yes. Well, I mean, it'd be specifically just you, but
Yeah.
that's why I proposed it. So for
Yeah.
anybody that wants context on that, I asked Jordan about this a while back. Since he is the voice of Lysander in the Nuzlocke animated comic Nuzray, which is, you know, a comic made by Jinja Ninja OWO, I proposed this idea where he does a version of the I have an announcement to make Eggman speech from the Snap Q's Sonic fan dub thing, where he does it as Lysander saying, Froglin the Frogadier's a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife. He took out his frothy little amphibious dick and pissed on my fucking wife. And he said his dick was this big. And I said, that's disgusting. Just a full version of that just as Lysander. And I think that'd be a fucking wonderful video to post.
Probably.
Like, even if it's just an audio or if you just say it in the middle of a live stream. I just think it'd be funny.
Probably, yeah.
Kind of like when I did that version of it with Luigi in our Luigi's Mansion playthrough.
I enjoyed the hell out of that.
It's just so perfect because it matches with almost anything.
Yeah, you can do it to just about anything. It's just great. It's not a bad thing.
Congrats on the Grand Bowl.
Thank you.
So another question just dawned on me while we're playing this. You said you were able to find a way to get XD Gale of Darkness working, right?
I think so. Essentially, it's the style of ROM I'm running is an older format of the ROM, which doesn't work well with the newer versions of Dolphin, because it's like the closer they're getting the emulator to the Wii-GameCube protocols, these faster, like smaller versions of the ROM that were a lot easier to obtain, there are some inaccuracies that run fine when you got a more sloppy, code. But the more refined code, like black screens it, or if it sees any errors, will shut it down because it's acting like the console, not recognizing the software. So either I install a much older version of Dolphin that can handle it, similar to playing Resident Evil 2, because Resident Evil 2 will not work on the modern version of Dolphin. Like, it just won't. Or I have to download a different style of ROM, which I have to look into how to do exactly. But if I get that version of the ROM, it should run alright.
Okay. Well, then maybe after Colosseum, if people want to see it, we could try playing through XD Gale of Darkness.
I'd be down.
Because, as I mentioned many a time, I know that game way better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say for certain that the amount of options you're given in XD Gale of Darkness makes it a much more... It makes you have a bit more of a free-form deal about how you want to do your team.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still restricted to what Pokemon you can catch due to the Shadow Pokemon mechanics and everything, but the fact that you can get wild Pokemon and you can get many different arrays of Shadow Pokemon, super early on even, it's a worthwhile thing to probably look into, I guess.
Yeah.
If it ends up being too much of a pain in the ass, then maybe we won't play it for the channel. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So how long have we been going?
About 40 minutes now. I was thinking maybe we go for the hour, or do you want to stick to like the 30-minute thing we were doing for a while?
Stick to the 30-minute thing.
All right, then let's see what's in this room from this elevator. Okay. Well, let's finish this fight, and as soon as we're done here, see what's beyond it, and we wrap up.
Watch this fight take 15 minutes because we're trying to catch a Shadow Pokemon.
Well, considering what's coming out first, I'm just going to Earthquake it.
Well, let's see if he has anything other than the Magneton and the Electrode. He does. Okay, well, we'll have to see.
Oh, Hope's dead. Well,
Yeah.
Umbreon can tank it.
Yeah, Umbreon can tank that. Hopefully.
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 Hell, secret power.
But yeah, I guess this game does give me a new appreciation for certain Pokemon over others.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize Quagsire would be this good.
Dude, Quagsire has always been a champ. Like, he is a backup for any competitive team I make. He's just a tanky boy.
Yeah. On top of looking like he'd make a wonderful plushie.
Dude, if Quagsire was real, he would probably be my waterbed. I would just, like, lay down a field of grass and put my head on his belly or his tail and probably be able to sleep until I die.
Yeah, but then watch him move the tail and then do, like, the beaver slam and immediately crush your skull.
My
Okay,
luck
no,
that
not.
would happen. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You don't have to worry about Shadow Pokemon. Because you already have an Ampharos.
Yep. Just because I don't want him to die here.
That thing, because Brick's tail kind of reminds me a lot of a Labrador I used to have, and how like that thing was so heavy and was able to knock all sorts of knickknacks off, and you know, God forbid you ever get whacked in the nuts with that thing.
Yep, that's how Thor is.
Yeah,
You
like,
got a
for
big
anybody that's
boofer
on
tail.
Labradors, for anybody that has had it and or has a Labrador, yeah, it's like gotta love them, but man. Gotta love it. I just getting whacked by that tail is not fun.
Nope.
All right, and this should end it.
Yeah. That bite
Yep,
packs
easy.
a real wallop.
Yeah. I mean, probably helping matters is that all dark type moves are considered special, so
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest thing that I imagine you'd have to try and adjust to when coming back to generations like this.
Yeah.
All right, let's go save, and then we can end the nice video here. Oh.
Well, this might become a 1-hour video now.
Actually, wait, I don't think this matters. I think you can still use the elevator and get to the save point.
Let me see. Damn it!
Bro! The elevator was behind you!
I thought this was like a little lab and it would cut off and I would find some DNA samples.
Bro!
I was like, there must be a DNA sample behind this guy. No. I was wrong. I was wrong.
No. You were wrong. You poor fire-crotched bastard, you were wrong. Alright, is there a shadow? Is it Vibrava? Hey! You can get a Flygon!
We're capturing that.
Yeah. Don't use Surf.
Earthquake it.
Use Slam and Yawn.
Yeah.
The Earthquake's not even gonna hit the Swallow.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm trying to think, is Swallow dark?
Swallow is normal flying. I
Oh,
realize
okay,
it
so I
looks
can buy
dark,
it.
but it's not.
Damn it.
Relax flew high into the air. Nobody will ever forget that one.
Also, I love that I'm running through this whole thing with no potions right now. I forgot to buy potions.
I guess that's how out of touch we are in regards to doing LPs and shit.
Yeah, I just actually forgot
to
that I didn't have any.
You need to save that full restore. Like, even if you're in a bad spot right now, just save that full restore.
I'm just saying,
Full heal will get rid of the paralysis. Or you can, oh yeah, Paraheal. There we go. I say,
Bite Vibrava?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Swallows, and well, it may have gotten that off before I'd used the bite, and that could have bit
Yeah.
it.
And again, Umbreon's tanky enough to at the very least take that. But is it tanky enough to take that?
Probably not.
Oh my god!
Brick is! Brick is! I love Brick so much.
There you go.
There we go.
Probably chip at it with secret power because best not risk the chance of having Umbreon crit that thing.
Yeah.
Don't switch out to Lucky. There's a Swallow on the field.
Yeah. No, but Espeon might help.
To Lucky.
Because I'm going to use her reflectability.
Good. Alright. Secret power, the Vibrava, and you should be good. Again, it's good to have somebody that has a understanding about Pokemon from this generation.
Well, this is at least a exciting way to end the episode. Holy shit! Secret power was more effective than we thought.
How do you feel about throwing them Ultra Balls now?
Probably a good idea.
I think even if you lose a match, if you catch a Shadow Pokemon, it stays caught.
We'll see.
I could be wrong though. Fingers crossed.
I'm not even doing the schoolyard trick. Come on, come on. Yeah.
Awesome. Goody.
Gotta hate stab moves.
Yeah. So here's my little tip for you to get rid of that Kecleon.
Helping hand and bite.
Use Psybeam on the Kecleon, and then have Umbreon just sort of use whatever on the Swallow. That works.
That Swallow's gonna be a pain in my ass. Keeps going up high.
Oh. Kecleon's now Psychic. What's super effective?
Ah.
That's the best way to ever destroy a Kecleon. Its ability is its detriment. Probably best to use Helping Hand though. Wait, is Umbreon faster than Espeon?
Umbreon is slower, but the Swallow's going to get the attack off and probably kill Espeon. If it doesn't, I get another boost to defense. So that might allow me to tank another hit or two. Because I have to send out my grass type after this.
Right. Well, yeah. Should be okay then.
Yeah, see, it would have gotten the attack off, so.
And again, worst comes to worst, just that the Vibrava ends up in our PC and we just have to lose the fight.
Possibly. Hell, I'll try it. He ain't gonna take an extra hit, but he'll look cool doing it.
Yeah.
He's a real chill dude.
See,
damn.
Now change the dark type. Sadly, the
Psychic's dead.
That can be. Sadly, we don't have any other moves that could be able to do any.
Dark and dark is neutral, right?
Dark on dark is neutral, I believe. Yes.
So we have to go with then.
Yeah, seems like it. That Swallow pretty much completely wrecked the whole dynamic.
Yeah. I'll heal myself after the Swallow probably nearly kills me.
Yeah.
Or should I heal myself this turn, you think? Just so I can tank that Swallow?
Considering that you only have a grass type, I think you just kind of...
Yeah, I'm going to just go for
Jenkins
tank.
The shit out of this. Leroy Jenkins the shit out of this. See what you can do.
Yeah, because Confuse Ray doesn't do damage.
Wait, it doesn't?
No.
Wait, no, wait. Did you not confuse it, though? Or is it not been... Did you miss Confuse Ray?
No, I've landed Confuse Ray. In this game, Confuse Ray doesn't do damage. It literally only applies confusion.
But confusion is supposed to be able to harm a Pokemon, though. Like,
yeah, if they hit themselves in their confusion.
So did the swallow not hit itself?
No, it didn't get off on the swallow. Because it keeps flying. So anytime it's in the air, you can't hit it.
You keep missing on the confuse rate. Got it. You confused me with that statement, is that it just inflicts confuse rate, doesn't hurt Pokemon, and I was like, wait, what? I don't remember what level Umbreon's supposed to be able to get Crunch.
Yeah.
Should be soon, I think. Oh, poor Lucky. Oh my god!
Remember, in this generation, Psychic is essentially Dragon.
Well, I meant, like, oh my god, it got a critical off. Oh, I nearly one-shotted it. Alright, well, Swallow's gonna try and fly up, I imagine. Yes.
I don't know how to stop that.
You don't stop it. The best you can hope for is just that you get some good hits off, or when it lands, use Confuse Ray. So probably try and Confuse Ray it, since you know it's faster than you.
Yeah, so this next turn and use Confuse Ray so that when it lands.
Yeah. I mean, just thankfully Umbreon's tanky enough to do it. There you go.
Yeah,
now,
because
let's hope RNGesus is a lot kinder to us and actually lets that thing get fucking hit.
Swah.
And oh my god. I think the RNG on Pokemon for us is spent due to the fact that I got myself a shiny Chimchar in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, let me see. I'm just seeing if I have anything that can heal him that's not like a, crazy awesome item.
No, I don't.
Should I use a revive?
That could work.
Yeah, I'm going to use a revive. I'm just going to... Let's see. Honestly, he can tank it.
Yeah, Brick will tank it.
Brick will tank it. Like, he might be weak to fly, but he'll tank it.
He's not weak to flying.
He isn't? Sweet.
No, he's neutral to it. And
nice.
Yeah, since you now have two Pokemon that are fully revived, or partially revived, it has to have two targets to hit. Really? Really?
I think it's because the way fly works, it can't hurt itself when it's in midair.
No, it can hit it while it's in midair.
Really?
Yes, we're just getting really unlucky with that.
That sucks.
Do a slam.
No, do a yawn. Because if that lands,
that's right, because
it'll go to sleep and I can just punish the hell out of it.
Yes. My bad. I forgot the fly. Thank God. Oh. This thing has been I mean, I like Swallow, but my God.
Yeah, this is the first version of that Flame Bird from Gen 6.
Oh, Talonflame?
Talonflame. Ugh.
You're not a fan of it?
One, I don't like the design. Two, oh my god, that took over competitive because it was not broken, but man, it was just a powerful unit. And you got it so early in the game, too.
Yeah, and I have a shiny one. Alright, well, let's just hope that the confusion can at least do something. Eh? That was weird.
It fell asleep in midair, so it just fell to the ground.
If this were like the anime, if it fell asleep in midair, that'd probably do damage, but nah.
In a game, now it just glitches itself back to the ground.
Yes, finally it's down.
Oh man, well that was an exciting way to end this episode. I'm running straight to a save point.
You fucking better. You fucking better.
Unless we're gonna find out.
Don't you?
We're gonna find out
You will not throw that unless at me.
We're gonna
Do
find
not throw
out.
that-
We're
do
gonna
not throw that
find
unless- do
out.
not- Don't you even think about throwing that unless on the table.
Unless this is locked. Okay, it's not.
It's not locked.
Oh,
It won't be
dude.
locked because this is Pokemon main villain knowledge we're talking about. The dumb shits that even after beating a bunch of their Pokemon will still, like, the facility, despite the alarm going off, is still allowing you to be able to head back. In fact, I'm confident you can just straight up walk out.
Dude, that's weird. Hell, let's save and then just see if we can walk out. Like, that'll be the way to end the video. Just like, okay, they set off an alarm. We're out. Said we couldn't leave, you know, but...
It's just like the equivalent of a fire alarm during a school day. It's just like, oh, that's going to be it ringing in my ears for the rest of the day. Thanks, school.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, yeah, we can just walk out. That's...
Yeah.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah.
Well...
This is Pokemon main villains we're talking about here.
Yeah. Yeah. I still like that motorcycle thing of his.
Make a 3D print of that. Granted, not...
Honestly,
Like,
some of
it's
it's
probably
pretty
part of it.
disjointed. So even with supports, it might not print right. Like, I'd have to maybe remodel that.
Probably.
Like, I'll need to see how to extract the 3D files from a ROM, which should be possible. Run it as an STL, put it in Blender, make sure all the polys are actually touching, because back then, sometimes they weren't, because...
Right, and they just kind of made it look like they were attached, but
Mm-hmm.
the kind of attached where it's not like a Lego joint, and
Yeah.
more like a really weak zipper.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. Like, hell, maybe I'll do that. Paint one of those for the channel. Oh, what was I talking about painting earlier? A Cyberpunk? Maybe I could take the bike model here and then do like a
Make it
net runner.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and then like get a
Oh.
net runner model and mount it to the bike.
Oh, that'd be rad.
Dude, that'd be pretty cool.
That actually, like, dude, I'd pay money for a Cyberpunk Pokemon game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
yeah,
all would.
hopefully you all enjoyed this little foray back into Pokemon.
Yeah, like this was a fun little thing we did. So we'll come back later. All right.
Yeah,
Hope y'all enjoy it.
We'll try our best to do more in the future.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.